Sup, my name is Ryu for the Yugioh Council. Welcome to Coffee Time. I know you thought at some point you would never hear me again. Relax, I'm back full time and I have a big thing to say. Number one, thank you to everyone who contributed to the GoFundMe. I shut it down because of a giant contribution from a certain company in my record label, and they were just super generous and they were helping me out. So things have gotten really good really quickly. And I posted most of it on Facebook for those of you who didn't follow the link, just letting you know things are good again. So I know it probably sounds a little more clearer than it usually does, which is a good thing. In this video, I'm actually filming on a Thursday so I could take the production time to get it done properly for you guys, because I'm just super amped to be back. So I'm recording the sound first and then recording everything afterwards. Kind of silly of me, I know, but it's important. So today's coffee time is brought to you by the TheYugiohCouncil. I couldn't resist. In all seriousness, welcome back to Coffee Time. We do this video pretty much every Monday. We start with a little channel update. Sometimes I do a little coffee intro. I don't know. I wasn't feeling it. Could have been the medicine. So anyway, I'm not fully done with the channel update. So if you just want to head over to the full video, just skip ahead a little bit. But basically, I'm heading back on tour. Got the okay, and things are good again because all of you were there for me in my time of need, and all I can really say is thank you. It broke my heart to have to say that kind of shit, but in all honesty, I'm here now because of each and every one of you. So in the future, I'm going to be giving back to every one of you somehow, some way. We're going to figure it out. So let's talk about today's topic, which, it's going to be a hot debate. Hopefully it'll be a hot debate. So I'm just going to basically give myself a sec here. Do you guys like to play physical or digital Yu-Gi-Oh, and which way do you prefer to play? So the video title is going to be a little bit different than what I just said there. That's just because sometimes when you have like 5 days to think it out, you get a better title. Anyway, today's about physical versus digital Yu-Gi-Oh, and basically which way you sway. So some people will disagree, some people will agree on my stances, but that's okay. That's why you have your stances, and that's why you should put them in the comments so I can talk to you. It's kind of a cool thing to do, you know? In all seriousness, I'm going to start with physical Yu-Gi-Oh because this is the one thing I massively prefer. You get to meet people, you get to go out, and sometimes you get to smell people. I know not everyone likes to bathe. No disrespect. You also get to feel the cardboard in your hands. Smell that cardboard. I have a Call of the Haunted next to me. I wish you could see it. I'm just smelling that cardboard. There's a distinct smell to a Yu-Gi-Oh card, in all seriousness. Now, you got some negatives in there too. You gotta buy sleeves all the time. You gotta sleeve up your card. And you can actually hear me doing it, just probably a little bit on the pop filter. You get to get mats. You get to look at mats and say, I want this mat. And then you get to order it, and then you get to wait time, and then you get to put a deck together, and it's a payoff, and it's a different experience for everyone. And opening packs can either be one of the greatest experiences for you or one of the worst. And if it's one of the worst, you should be buying singles, in all honesty. For me, it's fun because I don't really care about what I pull half the time. It's just more about the experience of opening the pack and, seeing what I pull, seeing how my luck goes that day. And usually, some days it'll be pretty damn good. But physical Yu-Gi-Oh can be expensive, and the same light of, hey, look, it's a hobby and it costs money. That's why we have budget players, and that's why the last video was supposed to be about, but I'm going to redo that video sooner or later. But here's the point. Physical Yu-Gi-Oh is great. You get to travel around, you get to meet people, you get to talk to people. Some people are better than others. And you have Yu-Gi tubing, which is pretty much the middle ground for both of these. That's how I always viewed it. So you get to sleeve your Call of the Haunted, you get to sleeve whatever you want. But sometimes cards are so damn expensive they're just not worth it, and the only way to play a game, with that deck is going to be online. Now, some of you are probably instantly going, well, it's a hobby. If you don't spend the money, get the fuck out the game while you're playing it. I don't like that mindset. Because in all honesty, I think everyone should have a fair chance to play the game. The reason I say that is because sometimes I fall in between both. Where I could spend massive amounts of money, or I can spend just a little bit of money. As you guys seen, about a month ago, shit went to hell. So you never know which way life is going to swing your way. Now, digital, you can just go in, play OCG cards before they ever reach the TCG stores. Because when they reach the TCG shores, they are not nearly as powerful as they once were. And the main reason is they get power creeped out by the stuff we have in the card pool that we didn't have at the time the card came out. Effect Filler is a great, obvious thing to this, is because a lot of the cards are like, oh my god, this thing's so good, and then you see Effect Filler, you're like, I could just nullify your effect, or Ghost Ogre Snow Rabbit, I can destroy your card, and then you won't get it depending on the timing and whatnot. I'm not a big fan of that card, just saying. Or Max C, where you could draw massive, outs of things, or Denko Seka, where your opponent can't play back, or you get the point. So what it comes down to is, with digital, it's a much, much different experience. You can go online, you could build a deck, you could just post a deck profile really quickly. There's really no payoff, I guess is the way to phrase this for me. Now, for me, my personal experience, when I say there's no payoff, when I complete a deck, I'm like, yes, got all the main deck cards, got the extra deck cards, got the sleeves, got the deck box for it. That's just my normal regiment for this. I chose red sleeves for Infernities. Maybe I'll choose blue for Ritual Tamers or Ritual Beasts. Or maybe I'll put my Blue Eyes in white, or my Chaos Dragons in black. Whatever color you prefer, your favorite color. And that's one of the downsides, and that's why the digital has just a little bit up, because on Dev Pro you can put custom sleeves in. On, I believe it's Dueling Network, someone correct me if I'm mistaken, they have custom sleeves, but it's only for donations or something along those lines, or if you reach a certain rank. I'm not 100% sure, because I don't play on Dueling Network. I'm not a big fan of it. One of the biggest downsides for me, it may just be me, for, online play is Dueling Network, you have to explain things to people, and sometimes they don't know the proper rulings, or they don't give you a sec to look it up, and then you get the interference. Now, this can also happen with physical Yu-Gi-Oh, yes, but with physical Yu-Gi-Oh, 90% of the world has a cell phone that can access into these cards, or goes in knowing what's going on. It could just ask someone who has a cell phone next to them. Usually that's a thing that's going to happen. And now, that may just be New York City, that may just be New York upstate, that may just be Texas, that may be California, that may be Florida. These are the places I've played physical card games in North America. Now, you could also put Japan for that too, because I've played there. Now, the one thing I do have to say that Dev Pro and the others have over the physical card game is, you never really have to worry about losing your cards, or your cards being damaged, or your cards blowing up, or being washed away by a storm. And yes, it has happened to people. You don't have to worry about it. But it's just like digital video games, and some people get mad at me for saying this, and I will eventually be talking about this on the Council Network, is with digital video games, sometimes they disappear, sometimes the servers are down, and then you can't play it. And that becomes a downside, that becomes a negative. With physical Yu-Gi-Oh, you can always go out and play. I mean, unless you look out the sky, and the sky is like just tornadoes and whatnot, you're in one of those states that have it. God bless you for putting up with that shit. Hey, New York City ain't much better, I'm telling you. But, you can go out there and you can just play Yu-Gi-Oh on a daily basis pretty much with your friends and whatnot. Now, for some people it is easier because they have college, like Mikey, or they have school, or sometimes they have children who bother their father for everything. That would be me. And Dev Pro becomes easier, a little more affordable sometimes, you know what I mean? Because when you're a dad or a college student, let me break it down for you. I'll break down every piece of this. When you're a student, you're not going to have that much money. When you're in college, you may, depending on your family situation, your part-time job, or wherever you can find. And in New York City, there really isn't much. But if you're in college, you're pretty much focusing on your grades, and the easiest way to play Yu-Gi-Oh is going to be digital. Sometimes physical. If you're in my status, well, it depends on your job, your career, or just what you do to make money. You can hustle. You can hustle like a motherfucker. In all seriousness, for me, I'm a little bit in the middle. I will spend money on the cards. I will get what I need, but I'm not going to go out there and break the bank to, play Necrots. No offense to anyone who has, or anyone who is wise enough to do the trades, but I like having my giant collections. So that also becomes a reason why I like physical. My giant collections of cards, my memories from friends who unfortunately are no longer with me, because they're, not alive. And the friends who I haven't seen in like 4 or 5 years. And when we meet up, the first thing we talk about is freaking Yu-Gi-Oh! And now through Yu-Gi-Tubing and Facebook and everything else, because I'm not big on social network, or it used to not be, You know, it's so much easier to talk to these guys and be like, hey man, what's up? And he's like, yeah man, fuck infinities. And I'm like, what? You know, it's just the whole conversation piece that you can have over a card game. And that's a perfect middle ground. And that's why if you don't play physical, you should play physical, even if it's a $10 deck. You know, it's fun. If you don't play digital, you should play digital, and I can help you with the website links that you'll need. Whether that be DebPro, Yugioh Percy, I believe one's called Salvation. I need a link for that if anyone has it, please. I had to redo my whole computer. I had to restart, reboot. God, the technical words. I basically had to do my registry files all over again, reinstall Windows 8 to get everything working the way it is now. And it took like 3 weeks. It's horrible. But, hey, it kept me busy. But for anyone who needs those links, just ask, and I'm pretty sure our little community of council will do that. So it's definitely something amazing to have each and every one of you part of that. So thank you. But for me, I like physical better because I like, you know, looking at colors, sleeves, and just talking to people over the card game and deciding, you know, it's like that God, I'm saying water cooler. It's like that water cooler effect. Like everyone just saw Arrow last night and they're by the water cooler talking about it, and everyone's just sitting there going, "Yeah, man, it was great. He said, my name is Oliver Queen." It's kind of one of those things where you're just around your workplace talking about it, or your friends talking about it, you know. And you should never be ashamed of playing physical Yu-Gi-Oh. I mean, look at me. I got a wife. So anyone can do it. Anyone can do it. There's no fucking excuse. But in all seriousness, there's something about physical Yu-Gi-Oh you can never, ever take away. And there's something about digital you can never take away. The digital effect is that, fuck you, Konami, you're not getting my money. And the physical is, I love the game so much. I love the tournament scene. I just love playing with friends, whatever it is. You know, being able to talk to each other and just have those memories when you're like 30, 40, 60, 80, whatever. And yes, when I'm 80 years old, I will remember about the time that I made a Blue Eyes video and I connected to a bunch of people because of the fan base of it, and I will never forget it. Because it made me partly who I am today, which is, it's weird for me to say that because I got to talk to all of you. You basically shaped my life now. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. Kind of weird. So, I believe in closing, I prefer physical. Digital is still amazing because you can play new cards that are not even out yet. You can get an idea of how you want to build a deck before you go buy the physical deck, so they bounce off each other. And that's something that is just interdimensional. I'd probably mispronounce it that. Anyway, I would like to, I know they're probably not going to ever hear it, but I'd like to say thank you to the people who've made Dueling Network possible, DevPro possible, Yugioh possible, Salvation possible, because you guys are pretty much doing it for free. So every time I'm on there, I collect an ad for you guys because you guys have made it possible for me to play online Yu-Gi-Oh, which 10 years ago was never a thing. You know, you would have to go to the locals and you would just hear stories about this shit. We didn't have Yu-Gi-Tubing. And that's something I've been reflecting on for a while. About 10 years ago, we didn't have YouTube. We're just infancy level of YouTube. Look at the community we have now. We shouldn't take that for granted. We should enjoy the crap out of it and just have fun with it. So if you guys want to go out there and do a Yu-Gi-Oh, please fucking do it. Because only you can be the creative person that you are inside and show it to the world. And then if you guys want, we'll be here supporting you and let you be on the council, because everyone should be a piece of the council. I think that's the best thing in the world, in all honesty. I don't know. I'm just hypomania right now. I'm just on a hype level of no fucking tomorrow to be making Yu-Gi-Oh videos again. It's so silly, but it just means the world to me. So, Council Network just makes me happy. And when I say Council Network, I'm talking about all the different councils that are here and will be coming in the near future. So, just had to get that in there. Just had to. There's always links for everything that we do in the description. And if you ever need a link for something and it doesn't click the right way, you can just ask and we'll do it for you. So, leave in the comments what you think is better, physical or digital. Make sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, because it helps. It just freaking helps grow the channel. Believe it or not, it really does. If you're on someone's channel and you watch a video, either hit like or dislike depending on the person's quality of the video, or just if you just downright like the idea of it, but they didn't execute it right, then you hit the like button. Simple as that. Just had to get that in there. In closing, because closing's always like 2 hours long, this has been one of my favorite coffee times to ever discuss, even though like I'm looking at the TV right now and my daughter. So I'm going to head out now and just end the video here. But thank you guys for the continued support, and I will catch you guys later. I'm ready for the Yugioh Council. Keep it real. Ever since 2013, keeping it real. I think it was 2000. Whatever. Anyway, rate, comment, subscribe. Back tomorrow with Tech Tuesday and another video for you guys. I don't know what yet because, well, it has yet to be filmed. Peace.